Good morning. It's Ayya Vimala. It's 10 o'clock, and it's a beautiful, beautiful day here in Crystal Lake. It's a little warmer than we were thinking it would be. It was almost chilly last night. It was so delightful. So today's Friday, the end of July. The last month of summer is coming up, at least for here. So I don't know where you are, so your seasons may be upside down or always summer. Today's Friday, and when I listen to the news for the rest of the world, my goodness, everything is, we're really seeing not only the pandemic, but lots of suffering going on. And I think that's what we always have to remember and keep that in the back of our minds, that we've still, with whatever's going on here, at times it seems like it's still better. Other countries are dealing with governments completely in chaos and corruption rampant and affecting people everywhere. So keep your head and keep going, doing what you think is right, and enjoying the beauty of each day. It may seem like an oxymoron to be aware of the suffering in the world and aware of our own suffering, and yet to have the belief that we can find happiness in this world. And I don't think that's an oxymoron. I think the world is the world. The world is the way it is. And when we can find happiness that's filled with loving kindness, that's a life filled with loving kindness and harmlessness to ourselves and others, when we can still find happiness in this world, I think we're being a light, we're being a beacon, because this life is our journey. This is the journey we're on, and so we don't want to abandon it because we see suffering in the world. And when there's suffering that we can alleviate, we try to do that too. So my wish is symbolic of that. So let's start with my wish, because now more than ever, the contents of my wish are the things that will actually give us the most hope and bring the most happiness to us, or contentedness. We can call it happy, that's okay. May I become at all times, both now and forever, a protector for those without protection, a guide for those who have lost their way, a ship for those with an ocean to cross, a sanctuary for those in danger, a lamp for those without light, and a sanctuary for those who lack safety. By means of this meritorious deed, may I never join the unwise, only the wise, until the time I attain Nibbana. Thank you. Such a beautiful reminder, and something we can carry with us. So if you ever get discouraged, think about something to do for someone else. Okay? That's the simplest thing to have on hand, is to turn our attention away from our own difficulties and our own feelings of isolation or separateness, and find another living being to help, or help the earth. Plant a garden, maybe be a guerrilla gardener. Remember how popular guerrilla gardening was? Probably 20 years ago. But go out and pull some weeds if you see them in someone's garden and you know they can't get out and do it. So we can find little ways all the time to get outside of ourselves and see something good we can do for anything else besides ourselves out in the world, and that brings contentment and happiness to us as well. So today I want to sit with you, but I wanted to read. I've read this before, but I really think this is important in these difficult days where we are often struggling with the decisions that other people are making that we feel may be affecting us, or could possibly affect us, or could affect other people. And I think it just continues to be, boy, a test for most of us most days. So I've read this before, and it's the my number one choice in my growing list of cultivating peace. And this is a quote from Pema Chodron. To help cultivate peace, see my opinions of myself and others as simply my take on reality, or their take on reality, and not a reason to increase negativity on the planet. And the note I made under it is, don't hold to opinions with aggression. So we all have viewpoints, we all have opinions, but we have to remember that's all they are, right? Because everything is impermanent. Things change all the time. So we have to hold on to that principle that we know is a principle that it's one of the rulers of this world that we live in. This conditioned world is, everything is impermanent. There is suffering in the world, and there's no self that we can cling to or hold on to. And our opinions and our views are also things that come and go. They're impermanent. So rather than get into a debate with someone, or get into an argument, or get into something that breaks and separates, we should be able to be listening to people. And I also think it's important to choose who we listen to. If we want to get another side of an issue, I think it's good to find someone who really understands that side and can explain it without it becoming an argument. So don't subject yourselves to getting into someone with a loud voice and someone trying to tell you how you're wrong. I don't mean we have to listen to that. But if you are aware of the side of an issue that someone who thinks differently from you has, find someone who can explain that side of the issue and explain it calmly and reasonably. So don't subject yourself to someone going off on you or becoming really angry and yelling at you about it. So we have to use discernment that way too. We have to listen to the clearest voice about a different topic that we can find, and then listen to it. And we don't need to be pushing our opinions, hold them lightly. We definitely just need to see them as our thoughts, our opinions on something. That's really hard to do because, but I know how hard it is to do, let's just say. It's our human tendency to want other people to agree with us, right? It makes us feel better. And it gives us, if we have a team, if we're coming from a big team, it gives us more confidence. It feels like it gives us more confidence than if we feel like we're speaking alone or doing anything alone. We always have confidence when we think a lot of others are going along with us. But we have to have confidence with something deeper than that, with something that's based more on our own confidence in what we're following. So, I'd love to hear how others are finding ways to enjoy the summer with a sense of a totally different experience of a summer than you've probably ever had. So if anyone wants to share that, I'd love to hear about it, and so would other people. I was just listening to the news on the radio, and there's something about a new Bill Murray movie, but it said it'll be in theaters near you, and I thought, I don't think the theaters anywhere around here are open. So I thought that was cruel. I thought, don't tease us like that. So let's keep going. We've got to keep going, and we've got to keep finding creative ways to be and to stay content and happy. And I think what we most of us listening realize is, if we can carve out that time for more meditation, more sitting practice, more walking meditation, just that quality in our lives, and letting this time be a time to start that new practice or to deepen the one we have, find ways to work with loving kindness and compassion when you can't be out maybe doing things that you used to do. A lot of people can't volunteer the way they used to. There are limitations on that for many people, and some of the activities, some of the going and the doing that we're used to doing has been curtailed, but we can put our principles into practice other ways. So keep being creative. It's been a long time now, but keep being creative with the ways that you express your loving kindness and your compassion to others, and that will help. And deepen your meditation practices, and that can be when you can practice metta when you park your car to go to the grocery store and walk into the store. You can practice metta when you're in the store. Practice it towards the people who are not distancing properly, or not around here. If you go into a store, chances are people are all wearing masks. But so we're really lucky in that regard. But practice your loving kindness and compassion when you see someone doing something that you think is probably not really safe. Be careful about how you would approach that person. That may not be appropriate. But even if we see someone doing something that we're really concerned about, if we first begin with metta, loving kindness, and compassion, that even gives us a better base if we decide we're going to try to talk to them about it, or do something to call attention to it, or be involved in a protest. Be sure you're bringing that loving kindness and compassion with you in any of the action you take, because otherwise we can easily become angered, and we can easily be pushed to a level that we later aren't going to feel good about, and that's not going to help somebody understand our point of view any better if we are pushed to that point. So keep doing the things that keep building us up more strongly, helping, instead of thinking about all the things we want to change about ourselves. I heard someone say yesterday, and it wasn't about Buddhism at all, but it was helping themselves to become the best, to be the best me I can be. And that's what we're looking at. Just improving those qualities that we already have, but they may be rough around the edges, or we may not have even recognized them yet. And so that's what we're working on. Spend time by yourself. That may seem ridiculous for me to say that, but I know even those of you in a full household, you need to find more time by yourself. You need to have more time to come back to yourself and pay attention to yourself, to how you're handling everything, and how you're doing, and what you need, and what you can do to help yourself and your loved ones and others. So it may begin sounding like an old record, but sometimes we hear something 100 times before we really hear it. So keep listening, okay? So why don't we practice and spend the rest of our time sitting together. And at the end again, I'll read my wish at the end. But now let's spend some time with a little bit more silence. So I think let's begin with a short metta and then just sit and be with our breath when we finish metta. Close your eyes. Begin watching your body breathe. Be aware of your breathing. Hopefully everyone's breathing in, and you're aware that your body has become trained to get that air down to the bottom of your lungs. This is how we can relax and let go a lot of the tension and anxiety we may be carrying with us, even without being aware that we're carrying it with us. Hand on your belly. Feel that air coming down into your lungs. Adjust your posture so you feel that your spine is straight. You can lift your spine up. If you're on the floor or in a bed, you can feel your spine lengthening. Other than our closed eyes, all of our sense doors are open. Our mind is thinking, we're smelling, we're hearing, we're tasting, and we can feel the air on our skin. We can feel the contact any part of our body is making to some other surface or to our clothes. We've closed our eyes so we can let some of the visual objects stay on the outside, just to make it easier for us to concentrate. But there's still lots of color and light playing around on the inside of our eyelids. So we're not disconnecting from the world. But we're turning our focus inward. We're sitting with ourselves, being with ourselves. Check in with yourself, with your emotional state. How are you feeling? How are you doing? Keep observing your breath. And checking in with yourself. Are you feel like you're carrying a heavy weight that you need to explore? Or do you feel lighter than you felt yesterday? Or lighter than you felt at different points in your journey? Now send these thoughts of metta, of loving kindness, of goodwill. Send good thoughts to yourself first. May I be well. May I feel safe. May I be free from fear and worry and anxiety. May I be content. May I dwell in peace. Just feel yourself being washed like a light shower, just washing over you with these good thoughts, good wishes. Now think of your loved ones. These are the people we know we are able to sometimes love unconditionally. They can be our family members, far away or right in our house. They can be your dear friends who are your family. This can include your pets, the animals that keep you anchored to the earth. May all my loved ones be well. May they feel safe. May they be free from fear and worry and anxiety. May they be content, and may they dwell in peace. Remember, these are wishes. They are sending our best thoughts, our purest thoughts. And these are thoughts that come out as wishes for others. We're not trying to tell others how to be or how to feel. We're sending from our mind out. These very wholesome, beautiful thoughts. Now send these thoughts out to a face you've seen in the last several days or one day, depending on how many people you're out and about with. A face you've seen, but the person was a complete stranger to you, but you can hold that image of their face or just seeing them in your mind. Or you may have seen them before coming and going, but you've never met them. So they're really a stranger to you. And send that stranger the same thoughts and the same caring and goodwill that you've sent your loved ones and that you've sent to yourself. Focus on your stranger. May my stranger be well and feel safe in the world. And may my stranger be free from fear and worry and anxiety. May my stranger be content, and may this stranger dwell in peace. Now just radiate these qualities out. All of the qualities that we've put into our own thoughts, that we've sent first to ourselves and then moved out and sent to those different degrees of closeness. Now just allow these same thoughts to radiate out as goodwill. Allow them to move completely over the earth, reaching all humans and all non-humans, all creatures, all beings we may not even be aware of, beings invisible to us and beings that we might be able to see. And then let this same energy, these same thoughts radiate out even beyond this planet, into the solar system and even beyond that. It's an infinite quality. So we don't want to put any limitations on how far these good thoughts and thoughts of caring and compassion and goodwill, we don't want to put any limitations on how far they can reach. Just let them extend out. Never veering away from any other being. Never choosing, just knowing that this is a quality that when we begin to radiate loving kindness and compassion as well. And loving kindness is goodwill. When we begin to radiate this out, there's no stopping it. There's no picking and choosing who we send it to. That's what we're always looking for, to be able to keep moving out. Being willing to touch every other living being with goodwill and compassion. Now keep sitting as long as you can, but I'm going to finish now, and I'll read my wish again, and you can say this along with me. But if you have more time, my wish is going out the same way, so you can just add it to your loving kindness as you radiate this out. This is compassion, and compassionate action can radiate out with it. They can all be part of this quality that you can radiate out to an infinite degree. May I become at all times, both now and forever, a protector for those without protection, a guide for those who have lost their way, a ship for those with an ocean to cross, a sanctuary for those in danger, a lamp for those without light, a place of refuge for those who lack shelter, and a servant to all in need. By means of this meritorious deed, may I never join with the unwise, only the wise, until the time I attain Nibbana. Thank you. I'll see you in a few days. Thanks for making this such a beautiful part of my own practice. Bye-bye.